you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Show you much love. Thank you. Make sure that you do share this link, guys. Make sure that you are sharing. Make sure that you are liking, just spreading the message about the positive movements that's taking place. Also want to give a great big shout out for Vanessa JC for allowing us to utilize the studio, our awesome, phenomenal studio. What exactly is the name of the studio again, Vanessa? Warehouse 24, for those of you who may not be aware of it, this is Warehouse 24, our awesome facility. So we definitely want to just thank Vanessa JC for giving us this opportunity to utilize this platform as well. So guys, today's topic that I actually had listed was the transitional adaptation. So if you guys are checking out the link or the description that I have, basically it's talking about relating to characteristics of a process or a period of transition. Also, the action or process of adapting or being adapted. The adaptation of teaching strategy to meet students' needs. So in other words, guys, let me turn this down for you guys. What I'm actually speaking of is just the ability and the skill set of transition and also adapting to various different situations that we may come across in life. And as you guys know, I love speaking about elements, and one of the main elements that I decided to speak on today was basically talking about with water. Many of us, we can all relate to dealing with having an understanding what water is. But one question that I do want to ask you guys is, when you think of the element of water, what comes to mind when you actually think about water? For those of you who may not know, water is an element. It basically consists also as H2O, consists of hydrogen and oxygen, but also at the same time, many people don't understand the characteristics of water, such as the different states of being that it actually has. So the three states of beings that I'm going to speak to you guys about with this particular element is it has the three states of being, which is a gas, solid, and liquid. This is relevant to us in everyday situations in life where we should really learn to take the characteristics of water and learn how to apply it in our lives for multiple different situations. So for the first one most people are familiar with is the ability of water being in a liquid state. Now, usually when we think of a liquid state, just think of it being fluid, you think of rivers, oceans, streams, and so forth, right? But when we think of that element being utilized in that particular aspect, what do we usually see is taking place? Majority of the times what's taking place is water is used to transport. So if we're thinking of like boats, ships, and so forth, like, or even just streams and oceans, it's used to transport. So it's showing us that we should always remain in motion, so to speak. So if we're actually in like an ocean or a river, we'll notice that we should always be moving. We're always on top. We're always afloat. So when we're actually understanding how water actually utilizes this state of being as a liquid for transportation, we need to understand that it really loves breaking through barriers. It really doesn't like being limited. So if you really look at the abilities that water has, is anything that you apply to it, it'll take on, or anything that it's applied to, it'll take on as well. So water remains in like a very neutral state, and it has the ability to adapt. So what do I mean by that, of it having the ability to adapt? What I mean by that is no matter what situation or circumstance that it is faced with, it finds a way to remain in